Yo. Trying to fix this stuff up. Sup. Trying to see if I get this thing plugged in and charging. My man, Mr. Newman. Let's give the people a chance to come on in. Let's you gotta send me a request, Kev. Send me a request. I'm trying to send me a request so I could accept it. There it is. Yeah, I ain't done this in a long time. What's good? What's good?
Yo,
Not my man.
what's up with you?
My man. You
What's
just
going
chewing
on,
up,
man?
huh?
What's going on?
Oh man, God is good. You know how that
Yeah,
goes
I
all the time.
feel that always.
So how you I got a low battery. Let me try to get this thing on a charger.
Okay,
Hold on for 1 second.
yeah.
Get this thing on a charger, B. So what's up with you, man?
Shit, man. Same old thing, man. Just staying locked in, getting ready for what's next, man.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What's next? So the last time I seen you, you ran down on me, you know what I'm saying? And you did what you did, you know what I'm saying? But you actually came off a great knockout win,
Yeah.
right? You stopped
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah.
And what round did you stop the guy in?
Uh, four.
Round 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
four.
So
Yeah.
that was a good look for you because you was on the Devin undercard, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Um you ran up on me on the floor and you know what I'm saying, but you my
Yeah.
man, so it's all good.
Yeah. No, we
uh,
all good. We all good.
yeah, so talk to me, man. Like, how's this journey been so far for you, bro?
I mean, it's cool, man. I'm enjoying it. Been embracing it all. I'm going on in September this year will be my 10th year as a professional. So, it's had its bumps, its ups and downs, but I thank God for it all, man. So, the highs and lows and everything in between. But I feel like, right now I'm just getting started. So, yeah, like, a lot of guys they falling off and stuff like that, or they're on a downward slope. But me, I feel like I'm just getting started and just hitting my prime.
I feel like that too for you. I actually like where you are in this space. I also feel like that something major is going to happen for you. I don't know why. I just do. I think a lot of people don't know who you are and what you do.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, not when I say what you do, I'm talking about the type of work you've been putting in over the
right,
years.
right.
And it, you know, you got into it to become a
Of
world champion. I'm sure, right?
course, of course, of course.
And and with becoming a world champion, that comes with fame, that comes with success, relative success. But you seem to be one of the dudes that really don't necessarily care about, like, the limelight, so to speak, right?
Well, for me, man, it's like, you know, I mean, if you're a fan of me, I appreciate it. I'm not saying that, I got into boxing to be famous and this and that. No, like I always love the sport. I always wanted to be world champ, and that's been a major goal of mine. So, whatever comes with it, comes with it. If that's the fame, if that's the limelight, whatever comes with it, when the time comes, I'll be prepared for it.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Listen, so I was having a conversation, as I do. I have these philosophical debates with people
Yeah,
often, and
yeah,
we talk about trainers, we talk about fighters that turn trainers, trainers that turn fighters,
yeah.
whatever it is, right? And one of the things one of the guys I was talking to, he was like, Roy Jones is an anomaly,
Yeah.
and he said to me, he said, it's very rare that you find a guy like Roy who's changing, right?
Hmm.
Who's out there um, training guys um, and making world champions,
Yeah.
right? So I said to him, I said, and this is my humble
Yeah.
opinion, I believe that Roy is so special, and he was gifted beyond
Hmm.
measure for his time.
Hmm.
And I feel like when I look at the guys that Roy has influenced inside the ring, but the guys that he's trained,
Yeah.
I feel like Roy sometimes he lives vicariously through his fighters,
Yeah.
right? And like if you were shadow boxing in the
Mm-hmm.
dark and nobody put a time on it, right? And they just had your silhouette, 100%, 1,000%, people would say, "God damn, that's Roy Jones." Because I'm telling you, this is what people would say.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Roy's gift is his curse,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like Roy was so talented, and a lot of his ability was God given,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't. I know he worked hard in the gym. It
Yeah.
was no
Extremely
doubt.
hard. Extremely
Um,
hard.
but some guys have to work harder than
Yeah.
others. Some guys have a natural ability, and some guys just prepare to be ready.
Yeah.
And I feel like what Roy did and what he does is he tries to make his guys like him. Because
In what sense?
I watch your training. I said, damn, that is
Yeah.
Roy. And but my fear in that is that um what Roy had was so special in
Mm-hmm.
that you have to have that natural God-given ability to be able to do what Roy do. Now, this is where it gets spooky because you are a natural athlete
Yeah.
and your speed, I think people like I don't think people really understand your your boxing
Yeah.
prowess, like your gifts. And I was one of the people, honestly, bro. I used to be like, yo, Roy always trying to make everybody fight like him.
Yeah.
They can't
A
do
lot
it.
of people think that. They think that.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
I
people think that.
said they can't do it. They don't have his gifts. But when I seen you and him working, and I seen how you developed, because it didn't work for Chris Eubank.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you, it didn't work for him. I'm not hating. It just didn't work for him because he didn't have the natural gifts. But you different, bro. You different, and I feel like you just need. I think you. I just need. You just need that one fight, that one person that'll be like, yeah, he fooled. Let me take him.
Right.
That's what I
Right.
feel. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
How you feel about that?
I mean, well, let's touch on the Roy Jones topic. I think there's like it's a misconception when it comes to Roy. I think that if you grew up watching Roy Jones, like I did, and so many other fighters that's in the game now, and that are past fighters in the game, you see things and you take things and you want to do those things. A lot of the things he did were very special in the ring, but if you when you sit there and you talk to him and he breaks it down, everything. So the hands behind my back. Well, his reason on his back was because the guy wasn't engaging. He wasn't throwing no punches. So he's like, well, damn, I'm gonna put my hands behind my back and I'm gonna get him to engage. So
Right.
it's so many different things. People think, oh, well, this and that. And Roy gets offended when people say, oh, he was, the most talented
I
fighter
know.
and this and that. And he's
I
like,
know. I know.
yeah, like he puts like a big emphasis on the work that
It's
he had to
skill.
put in
Yeah, for
and
sure.
when you in his skill, so when you train with him, we have 3 hour day gym sessions. We have 30 plus rounds, straight up just drills the same shit over and over and over again. And his approach isn't the same that his dad may have used on him,
Right.
but the fundamentals and the drills and everything. So yeah, of course you adopt certain things and there's a reason for it. So everything that if I may do something that looks like a Roy Jones type of aesthetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all for purpose. So it's not for the look. I have my own style, but I like certain guys. So like I like
Right.
Floyd, I like
Right.
Roy, I like James Toney, I like Pernell Whitaker, I like Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns. I could go on, and I just take little things from them guys
Right.
and just blend it up. But in terms of my approach to boxing, is 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 Roy Jones esque because his approach to boxing was domination. So, he said when I started training with him, he said, "You love to win." He said, "I know you don't like to lose." He said, "But I'm gonna teach you how to win." And I don't understand what he meant by that because everybody wants to win, nobody
Right.
wants to lose. He said, "I'm gonna teach you how to win." And what he meant by that was to go out there and totally dominate every second of every round, every minute that you're in that round. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, as opposed to when I used to spar, I'll take take downtime and make guys miss and do all the slick, cute shit, you know,
Right.
for because I can do it because it was that easy for me.
Right.
He's like, listen, we're gonna bust dudes' ass off this type of stuff. We make them miss, we're gonna make them pay. We're always out there constantly working and setting up things. So it's like people are seeing me evolve and get better working under Roy, but there's a reason for that
Right.
because he's taking countless hours out of his time to push me and teach me different things, and it's just getting better and better. So my game as a fighter is just opening up more and more, and people are going to start to see that the more fights that they see me in.
And you're working with Jake Paul now, right?
Well, see, like, so Jake's a good friend of mine.
Right.
So Jake's a good friend of mine, and he put me on one of his cards, the versus Nate Diaz, and when I got on that card, it kind of like did some huge things for me. You know, me and him, how me and him met, we someone reached out to me for us to spar,
Right.
right? So I came to the gym and I sparred him, and you know, I'm talking shit, and I'm just like, man, this YouTube dude, like, he ain't
Right.
fucking with me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm talking shit. It wasn't nothing. He was green, and I said a comment to him, and I'm like, man, this shit's so easy. I already done trained early in the day. I'm like, and I'm boxing with you now. Like, this shit ain't nothing. He said, well, I just made $500,000 in 30 minutes.
What you do?
So everybody's like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Right.
okay.
Right.
So there wasn't shit I could say after that. So
Right.
afterwards, you know, we dapped it up, we bumped it up, and everything was cool, you know. And then I get a call like a year later, and they're like, "Yo, Jake wants to bring you out to camp. You
Right.
know, he said that you're the best boxer that he ever boxed with, and he wants to bring you in."
Right.
I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like, so I came out to camp with him in Puerto Rico, and we just got real cool, man. Like, you know, we trained, we sparred,
Right.
and we, you know, I just helped him out, you know, because he's a good kid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He takes boxing very, very serious.
Right.
So we got real cool, and you know, I sat down with him at his table and asked him some of his goals. We talked about mine and you know, my career and stuff, and we just been rocking ever since, man. So, you know, we talk very often, but he gave me an opportunity, you know, and I did the most with it, you know, and so it's just like for me, like Jake, you know, he's a guy that you know, I'm you know, working with, and we talking, we're trying to make some things happen. And you know, obviously Devin Haney, that's my brother. So,
Of
you know,
course.
he's like whatever, you know, whatever he can do to help me, you know, I'm working real close with him and DHP. So it's like, you know, DHP and MVP, I'm working, you know, both with
So you
both
got,
hand
yeah,
in
you
hand.
got both
Yeah.
hands on
So
the spot.
yeah,
So now let
yeah,
me ask you
you
this,
know.
because I'm gonna tell you, me being a traditionalist, I want to say boxing traditionalist, I was actually offended originally,
Yeah.
um, when Jake Paul had Devin on his undercard. I didn't see the, I didn't see the the it factor,
Hmm.
right? So what I did, I said, you know what, I want to see what effect this will have.
Which undercard
With
was that?
Dev, when Dev fought on one of uh uh I forget which card it was. Dev was a champ too. He was a champ, and he fought on that card. It was the zone card with Jake Paul headlining.
Really? I don't remember. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember.
he did. And I was saying, I was offended. I was like, yo, how they gonna have Dev, who has a champ, you know, he's a titleist,
Right.
and he's fighting under this guy's card. And I said to myself, I want to see what this does for Devin, because and then so I actually went to his social media, and I screenshotted the number to 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 keep a reference from the build up to the fight
Uh-huh.
until to the actual fight. And yeah, somebody said I think it was the Jojo Diaz fight,
Okay.
something like that. Yeah, and I kept the number from his original date to the end of the fight date,
Hmm.
and compared the two, and I think Dev gained over 50,000 new followers
Yeah.
within that time.
Yeah.
And and then I seen it as, okay, all right, I can see why he did it. But then I start saying, well, does that translate into money, right? Does the following translate into money? And I can't. There's no way to tell, right? There's no way I could tell whether that translated into money. But I do. What I seen was the growth and exposure that Jake Paul had given Devin to a different audience that didn't know
For
Devin
sure.
prior
For sure.
to that. So I used to hate on Jake Paul
Yeah.
until he came, because I'm from Brooklyn, and
Yeah.
he gave Amanda Serrano the first million that she ever made in a fight,
Yeah.
and
Jake,
he took.
Jake Jake is one of the realest dudes, bro. Like people have no clue, man. Like the dude is a good kid. He's a hard worker. you know, and he's one of the realest people you ever come across, no matter how much money and fame he
Right.
has. You know,
Right.
he's a real good dude, and like giving a guy like myself an opportunity to go on his card, and you know, and when I did that, I got opened up to a whole new audience because after I was done fighting, I go upstairs, I'm taking pictures for literally like an hour straight,
Yeah.
you know, because it's a whole different demographic.
Right.
People are like they want to take pictures, and you know they just love me after the fight. So it did a lot for me, and he's doing a lot for boxing in general. You know, like the Amanda Serrano situation, the kid Ashton Silve, um, you know, and you know he has other fighters under his banner as well. So it's like he's doing a boxing a solid right now, and he's bringing different eyes to it. And you know, a lot of people hate on it, but for me, it's like this, man. Like, you know, when you see a guy really giving back to the sport and really
And
truly
not hate.
wants to genuinely, and he wants to be great.
Yeah.
He, you know, Jake had a lot of money coming into boxing. He's making a hell of a lot of money in boxing, but he don't mind giving some of that money to his people around him. He's just putting people in position like Jay Leon Love, real
Yeah.
good dude. You know, he
Yeah.
was a hell of a fighter when he was fighting. So it's like he put him in a position to where he's changed Jay's life, and in return, all Jay done is give him the game. You know, teach him how to box and just help him out. So you know, I mean, Jake is a real dude. He's a good dude, and I got his back 100%.
That's dope. Now let me ask you this: what's your your exit plan, right? If what's your plan B? Do you have a plan B? If this doesn't go the way you anticipate, the way you envision it, have you ever sat back and said, "Yo, you know, I'm gonna give myself X amount of time, uh, and if this doesn't go where I need it to go, I'm doing a beeline." Have you ever given that thought about?
So the thing with me is this: like, I've never had a plan B. You
Right,
know, it was always, I know I'm gonna make it. You know,
right,
come hell or high water, I know I'm gonna
right,
make it. You know, and I just push myself. I keep going. I've had a couple setbacks. You know, I've taken a couple L's or whatever. I've never been defeated. I've never been beat because anybody's been better than me. So, you know, for me, there's no plan B. It's God gave me everything I have for a reason, all the ability, all the talent, the vision, you know, the grit, the determination, the drive, et cetera, et cetera. He gave it all to me for a reason.
right.
And, you know, he's got me through every hump that I've, you know, came into in this boxing game. So like I know I'm gonna make it. It's just been on his time, you know, and for me it's like it's not gonna shock me. I'm just gonna be like, I knew it was gonna happen. It was just a matter of time, and I'm just thank God for it. But you know, I got a lot of people, you know, that believe in me. You know, my mom, you know, Roy Jones. You know, he believes in me. You know, like you wouldn't believe, man. And
Right.
you know, my girl and you know, my kids. So I got a lot of people that are close to me that are really pulling for me. You know what I'm saying? And that are willing to do, you know, anything to help me get there. So, you know, I'm just appreciative, you know, and I got like a special guy who's basically saved my career from, you know, almost where it was like fizzling. Now his name's Joe Jennings, and he basically came in and just took over, man, like and helped me completely, you know, change the trajectory of everything outside of myself just working, you know. So I'm always appreciate him for that. But in terms of like a plan B, there's no plan B. This is plan B. You
Right.
know, this is plan A, B, C, all the way to Z. And it's just only a matter of time, man. You know, and I feel like right now, I think as a fighter, you know,
Mhm.
it's my time. And I say that in the most respectful, humble way I could say it,
I agree with you
you know.
100%.
So it's like, you know, when you feel it, you feel it. When you know,
Yeah.
and that's just that. So, you know, I'm thankful for Dev for putting me in position. I'm thankful for Jake Paul for putting me in position. You know, for Roy Jones believing in me. The dude has told me from the day we met. He's gone on record and said he's like, you got more talent than I had. You know, I just got to teach you how to use it. And it's like for me to hear that come from a guy that I grew up watching and playing as a video game. He was the only guy we use on the video game
Right.
and beat everybody ass with. The
Right.
guy that I come to school and pull up on YouTube and be showing, you know, kids in the classroom or showing my brothers and
Right.
or whatever the case may be, his highlights. For him to have that much belief in me, man, you know, I just thank God for it and I'm appreciative for it. So, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, that are pulling for me, you know. So every time I go out there and run, every time I go out there and fight, every time I go and
Beautiful thing.
train, it's all for everybody involved, man. So, you know, but yeah, there's no plan B. This is the plan B, you know.
All right, cool.
So
Now let me ask you
yeah,
this: what to Kevin? You're Kevin, right?
yeah.
Kevin Newman, and then you're a fighter. That's what you do,
Yeah.
That's what you do, but that's not who you are.
Right.
Who are you when you don't have the gloves on? Who are
You
you?
know, it's funny you asked that, man, because over the years, it's like I think when you're an active athlete or a fighter, you sometimes you may forget who you are at times. It can happen, especially when you're younger. Because you don't really have an identity
Right,
outside of what you do, especially when you're all in and just diving in it 100%. You
right,
know what I'm saying? So, like as I've gotten older, I've started to find out more of who I am.
right,
Yeah, there's Kevin Newman the boxer, and then there's Kevin Newman the person. And that's been a struggle within its own self, but I'm learning to enjoy myself and love who I am, you know what I'm
right,
saying, and appreciate everything that God's given me outside of boxing, you know what I'm saying, like my family, my kids, my health,
right.
my friends and all the people close to me. But I'm me, man, and what you see is what you get, you know what I'm saying, like there's that's just what it is,
Yeah,
bro, so
that's good, man. Let
yeah.
me get this. Um, when you have those moments where you are Kevin Newman,
Yeah.
right? Um, when you look at yourself and you say, okay, I've done this, that, and this with my life.
Yeah.
And then you say, my plan is this to do with my life. What motivates outside of your family? Like what, like, cause there's days, I gotta tell you, bro, there's days I get up in the morning and I'm just like, and I don't do nothing
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. 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 No, I get
Not even a
you. Yeah.
third. What makes you say, I gotta get up and go?
I mean, it's it's something in you, man. It's that fire, man. It's that stuff from God. When God put a lot in you, you got to keep going, man.
Right,
You may not want to do it. You're not gonna get up every day and want to go run or go to the gym. Or whatever the case may be. But you got to do what you got to do.
right.
And like I got affirmations. I say to myself, I'm gonna use all my gifts that God has given me.
That's
So I tell myself that every single day.
that's right.
So that's another thing. It's like God gave me all this. Why? How can I not? How can I not go out and go use it every single day? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And another thing is, the older you get, the more you start to realize that this shit don't last forever. So I appreciate training camp more now as opposed to when I was younger. I just be getting, you just sometimes you just getting through it. Like, I appreciate every run I go on,
right,
and the days that I have in the gym, because I know that this don't last forever.
right.
So it don't a lot of that, and just time in itself is really what gets me up and gets me going. But plus, man, it's like I got a lot of, you know, there's a lot of people out there that believe in me, but then there's a lot of people that don't want to see me do it, or that doubt, or he can't do it, or he's this and he's that, whatever the case may be. So it's like I just take all that and I just use all that to just fuel me and just keep it pushing, man. So when God lights that fire, bro, ain't
You
nothing
can.
ain't not
There's nothing you
there's
can do.
nothing no one can do to put that out.
Man, who you telling, man? I live, sleep, and breathe this the Jesus, man. He's in
Yeah,
my
man.
soul, my heart,
Yeah.
and everything. Um, Let me ask you this though. Um, when you're not training, do you watch boxing?
Yeah. I watch all the fights that come on. I go back and watch old fights. I was just watching like Tommy Hearns versus Iran Barkley too. So I go back and watch old fights all the time, but I watch current boxing as
So
well.
who do you like now? Like if you had to put a top 10 together or a top
Top
five, top
top
five,
10 of guys that I like, or top 10 of who I feel is the
yeah,
best fighters in the
who
world.
you feel right now active
Yeah.
is the best fighters, and then after that, who do you? Yeah, just give me your top five right now. Just
So
top five.
I mean, top 5, I gotta go. Bud is there.
Mm-hmm.
Um what's his name? And how do you
In,
say his name?
in a way,
In a way.
yeah,
Obviously Canelo's there. To me, Dev is still
right.
there. And
I would,
they can call me biased, they call me what they want. That shit don't bother me. I know what I see, and I
right.
know boxing. So Dev is still there. Um, and then let's see, what's that? The Usyk and Fear, I guess, out of them two. And of course myself. I feel like I'm one of the
Yeah,
baddest motherfuckers out there. So
I think
but
honestly, and I say this not just because I'm on the phone with you,
yeah,
bro. I've been following you for a minute,
Yeah,
and I feel like you are best kept secret. You know,
yeah.
and it's going
The
to get
diamond in the
exposed.
rough, man.
Yeah,
The diamond in
it's
the
a
rough.
matter of really, and I'm not just saying this, bro. It's a matter of
Right,
the right fight,
right.
and then you take off.
Yeah,
Uh, so I need a prediction from you
yeah,
from this Usyk
yeah.
Fury thing. How you think it's going?
Man, like this fight for me is like it's different because it's like I look at Fury and he's a hell of a boxer, man. Like, and so is Usyk, you know what I mean? But I think that in this one it's like the great big man beats the great little man, with the exception of you got guys like a Floyd
Right,
Mayweather who were
different,
they going whether you big or didn't it didn't even matter.
right?
You know what I'm saying? And you had guys like Roy who were naturally smaller, like heavyweight. He was gonna beat the bigger guys, it didn't matter. But in terms of this fight right here, one is a natural heavyweight, you know, and the other one is a cruiserweight who's moving up. Hell of a fighter on both ends. But I gotta go with Fury, man, because I feel like, you know, if he's anything of what he showed in those fights with Wilder and if he's still on that type of level, because the Francis fight he looked like shit,
Yeah, I,
but I
I
think he slept on him.
judge him off of that. That
Yeah,
was
yeah. So if he's that same guy, I'm gonna go with him. If he's slacking, then Usyk might pull it off.
so. So I'm a little different
Yeah,
on that.
yeah,
I'm actually going for Usyk on this fight,
yeah.
and everything you said is true. Everything you said is true. But one thing that people are not paying attention to, and I really believe that this is going to be the difference. Um, Usyk has always been preparing for Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury, this camp is preparing for Usyk.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference. He had Tyson Fury as a target for his entire
Right.
career, right? And you got to understand something about those guys over there. Nothing is happenstance. Every brother, when I tell you everything they do is calculated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I strongly believe that Usyk has been prepared, and like he knows these people are studying Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury is taking the fight as they come, right? He takes the fights as they
Right.
come
Right.
because
Right. Right.
he's a gifted fighter, and he came up like literally off the dead, rejuvenated. You know, God
Yeah.
had His hand on that
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He no way in the world because the devil tried to take him,
Right.
and God, no, you here for a purpose, right?
Right. Right.
And we see what that did. You know, he came out and I would say the first fight, I would say honestly, I think he won the first fight between him and Wilder, and then everything else was him. But
Right.
Wilder was never on the level as
Boxing
a Fury.
skill wise, yeah, not
No,
boxing skill
no.
wise, no,
Um,
no.
and his saving grace was his punching power,
Right.
in my humble opinion. But he was a fighter. He was
Right.
not
Right.
a
Of
boxer.
course. Of
Um,
course.
and people shoot down Wilder's abilities. Wilder has a great jab, which he masked that right hand with.
Right.
And when he throws that 1-2, it's usually night, right? So Fury, on the other hand, I believe his ability is different in that he has the ability to use both of his hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
His punch rate, because he's a smaller man, he understood. There's some guys who have that one punch knockout power.
Right.
Neither Fury or Usyk have that. They have cumulative power,
Right.
cumulative punching power. So who does that favor when you look at the big picture? Whose punch output is greater
No,
out of
for sure. For sure. For sure.
and,
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
and that's why I'm looking at Fury versus Usyk. I think Usyk takes it because he's going to outwork Fury.
Right. I mean, I can see that too. So, I think it's gonna be a great
Oh,
fight either way though. You know
oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
because
Yeah. So
look how long.
yeah.
Look. I mean,
Yeah.
look how long before. Come on, man.
And
Like,
Usyk is probably he's gonna be coming for Fury because Fury been talking a lot of shit, man. You
and
know?
not just that. Usyk he has control of his head.
Yeah.
He's not allowing Tyson Fury to get into his head. You know, Tyson Fury knows how to do some mind games.
Right, right.
But this thing here it's different, man. I see Usyk on a different level. And Anthony Joshua, my guy, he's your guy
Yeah,
too.
AJ's my guy too. Yeah, it's my guy. It's my guy.
Yeah, so I was saying, when he beat AJ, I think the first fight AJ made a mistake in trying to fight the
Right,
smaller guy in the smaller style.
right.
The second fight, the smaller guy became the bigger guy, and he became the aggressor, and that was not good for AJ. But if they fought a third fight, I believe that AJ would make the
I think
adjustment.
AJ wins, man. I talked to AJ. He called me after my last fight. He had called me early in the morning. I'm like,
Yeah,
look at my phone. It's like he's
yeah,
out in England. You know, it's like 7 in the morning. I'm like, man, AJ. I'm like, what's he doing? So I hit him back. I'm like, champ, what's up,
right,
man? And he was with we have mutual friends out of the UK. He was with them, and we were just talking. He was like, bro. He said, listen. He said, you got your head on straight. He said, just like me. He said, keep that fire lit. He said,
right,
and it's our time,
right.
and with him saying that, like I know he's in a different headspace. I could see it,
Yeah,
and a lot of people, they talk about mental health in boxing, and me, like
enough though.
I've always kept a more of an old school mentality. It's like when it comes to boxing, like I've never pulled out of a fight because of mental health. Have I had mental health issues
Sure.
before fights?
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Right,
But I never and I paid the price for it. But have I ever, I just have an old school mentality when it comes to that. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Like we all deal with things, but then you got guys pulling out for mental health and things like that. But to each his
right,
own. Everybody's different.
right.
I just feel like AJ has his headspace is in a good space right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think he beats him in the third fight.
And I know a lot of people are pulling for um, uh, Tyson Fury over Usyk for a myriad of
Yeah,
reasons, whatever they is. But namely, is because they want to see Tyson Fury and Anthony
of
Joshua.
course,
But
of course.
regardless of how that fight happens, even no matter excuse me, no matter what the outcome is, I strongly believe that that fight will happen.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury
I
and
mean, it
Anthony Joshua,
has to happen,
no,
man. It has to happen.
no matter what, because
Yeah.
and this is one of the things that when you talk to Dev, tell Dev this too. When I was there with Anthony Joshua when he took his
Yeah.
first loss, and I got video of him coming to me after the fight, and after he lost to Ruiz, and I hugged him, and I said in his ear, I said, "Yo, remember Ali lost too, right?"
Hmm.
And so what I was trying to say to him is, a loss doesn't define you.
No.
And full disclosure, I didn't pick Dev to win against
Yeah,
Ron.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
talked about it.
But I want Dev to know that you know the world the world is a really nasty place,
Yeah, of
and people don't really matter when it comes down to it.
course.
What he's done in his time, and his short-lived time in the sport of boxing, he's 25, what, 26,
No, he's 25.
25, and he's accomplished so much in the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
I No matter what the cheering doing, all the chatter and all that stuff, you got to tell your man Dev that he is a great fighter, and not to let the world chatter get to him, because the best lose.
Yeah, no,
and
he has an old soul, bro.
and
And
but
yeah,
the best lose,
yeah.
but it's defined how they
Of
come back.
course. I mean, and that's kind of like basically the same message I sent to Jake Paul after he lost to Tyson Fury's brother Tommy.
Right,
And I told him, I said, man, you gonna find out who you are now that you took a L, and you got to bounce back from it. With Dev's situation, obviously it's a little different right now because of everything that's going on.
right,
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes that a
right,
lot of people don't know about. So it's like, you know, but I don't think that Devin feels defeated or he feels beat, because I was with him every day
yeah,
after the fight, and he's like, bro, listen, people ask you, man, tell them I'm good. He was like, I'm good. Allah got me. I'm not worried about nothing.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
And not that he's saying that he's doesn't feel, you
yeah,
don't feel that. Of course you feel how you feel, but in terms of like his mental space, man, like I get more irritated when I see shit online, because that's he to me. I still look at him as my little brother.
of course,
So we started this shit
right,
together.
right,
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I still look at him like that. So it's like I get irritated when I see certain things. He's like, Kev, look, he's like, bro, listen. Sometimes he's like, man, that shit. He said that shit don't even matter, bro. He's like, don't even play it to it. Don't matter. And in reality, it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I think right now, with everything that's going on after the 22nd and what happens with that, and then his comeback fight, whenever that may be. um, I think people are going to see probably the best version of him that you've seen. Because he answered a lot of questions on the night of
Right.
on the 20th. But I
100.
mean, I think he's going to answer a whole bunch more in his next fight out. You know what I'm saying? So,
And depending
I'm not.
the
Yeah,
opponent and he looks when he comes out. But
yeah,
he has to remember that he has to silence the noise, go in a quiet space,
of course.
um, process this because, like I said, every person is trained to win, right?
Yes,
Especially
of course,
where
of
you,
course. Yeah,
but nobody's trained how to process a loss. And who are
right,
we as spectators to sit back and say, "Oh, he need to do this. He shouldn't have did this."
right,
Come on, that's the dumbest thing ever. But
right.
the reality is, Dev is a great kid, and I think
Yeah,
that he has a Hall of Fame future
for sure,
in front of him,
for sure.
and so he needs to keep his head up no matter what, man.
Yeah,
And when we was talking, I was telling him, make sure what we talked about.
yeah.
Let the people see him, like,
Yeah, man, definitely, definitely,
because that's
definitely. No, he's he's kicking it, man. He ain't running, he ain't hiding from nobody, man. He's good, man. And I think that everybody will see him whenever he's ready. Whenever he's ready, people will start seeing him pop out. You
right,
know what I'm saying? So
right.
I think right now he's just enjoying life. I mean, and that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
boxing it comes and goes. So you
the,
know, but you got to enjoy
your
life.
weight comes
Yeah, man.
first out of
Yeah,
everything. No, first God,
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then
For sure.
choose to do because what we do for a living is not who we are,
For
right?
sure. For
And
sure. Yeah.
our purpose is not what we
Right.
do. Our purpose is God given,
Right.
and once we find purpose, we'll never fail.
For sure.
We will never
Yeah, I agree with that.
when we're in God's purpose. So I think that, man, I see big things for you, brother.
Appreciate it.
I only want listen, man. I mean this from the heart. I only want good things for you,
Yeah.
brother. I don't
Thank you.
I don't see and I just think it's just one fight. It's just that
Yeah.
one fight that
That's it. That's all it is.
and we got to get Caleb Plant to accept that fight. That
Listen, man. The Caleb Plant thing, man. It's like so many people. You know, Jake Paul interested. After my fight on Dev's card, I called Jake. We talked.
right.
I said, Jake. I said, because we were talking about me fighting on his card, and I said, Caleb Plant. I said that's the first name I said. I said Caleb Plant. I said what has I said would it be a money thing? He should have told me it wouldn't be a money thing. It would be maybe other things, but not to get into
Right.
detail. But see, the thing is, like, people think that I've been, like, this is a new thing with the whole Caleb Plant situation. Me and Caleb
Right.
have history that dates back to 2015, 2016. So, boxing plenty times in the gym, hell of a fighter. We've always had great competitive work. But for me, it's more so like I look at it like this. I've been saying his name for a while. Just wasn't in the position. He was doing his thing. His career was on
Right.
one part, and mine was on another.
Right.
But when I seen him in LA at an event, and we spoke or whatever, and he asked me about sparring,
Right.
and in my mind, I'm like, listen, bro, sparring is over with. we
Right.
gonna we gonna lock up.
Right.
Sparring shit, that's over with. I'm not interested in no more sparring. We done that. We did that shit when we were kids,
Right.
and you're one of the people that's at the top or was at the top. So it's like for me, it just makes sense. And if like I put in my on my page, if you know, you know.
Right.
And to me that means basically like you see two highly skilled fighters, two talented guys that have history with each other. And I mean, it'd be a hell of a fight. Like a lot of people,
Right.
Dad loves a fight, Roy Jones loves a fight, Jake
Of
Paul
course,
loves a
I
fight.
would like to see you with Edgar Berlanga too. I mean,
I mean, now me and him, now me and him had some history too. We boxed before,
right.
and we boxed, and I had we had got into it over social media, and he was popping off and shit,
Right.
and he was popping off and all that. And so I seen him at the box fan expo, and I just straight up walked up to him like he seen me. We locked eyes. I hit him with the head nod like, come over here. You know what I'm saying? And straight up like that, like come on over here.
Right.
You know how we
Yeah. Yeah. I
you
know.
see
I know.
you see a good looking woman, like, hey, come on over.
Yeah.
I hit him with that one. Pause. I hit him with that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let me talk to you for a second. So he came over, we spoke, but the energy that he had for me on social media
It's
is
different.
different. It wasn't none of that. It wasn't so okay, cool. Like, I'm not gonna make myself look like a fool in public. Okay, cool.
Right.
He said he had big things coming up. Okay, cool. I respect that. But at the end of the day, bro, listen, we're gonna have to run that.
Right.
We're gonna have to run it because I'm gonna make you stand on what
Right.
you say. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So as a man, I feel like that's the way that I had to
If
go
I'm
about it. But
if I'm being
yeah,
honest,
yeah.
I think that fight happens easier for you than Caleb Plant. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Jake Paul and Eddie Hearn have a working
Yeah.
relationship versus PBC, who wouldn't. I know that he did a fight on Showtime and all that stuff, but I see that probably being easier with Eddie Hearn and Berlanga versus Al Heyman.
Well, see, I got a relationship with both sides. I fought on Al Heyman's cars. Sam Watson knows who I am. Obviously, people know I was signed to Floyd
Right.
for a long time in my career. So, I have ties on both ends. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I think personally the Berlanga fight would be harder to get because like with him, his mind is set on Canelo, which everybody knows. And
But
and I mean shit, it is what it is. If he gets the Canelo fight,
I told you that's not that fight, bro. Mark my word, that fight is not
I
going to
think it
happen. If,
happens. I
if,
think it
if
happens.
listen, if His Excellency has a say, that fight is not going to happen
Yeah.
because first of all, he already named the Canelo mandatory number one.
Yeah.
Two, the Sheik is trying to give Canelo
Yeah.
Terrence Crawford fight.
But that's next year. They're talking about next year.
All right, so Canelo ain't going to fight again this year.
No, Canelo gonna fight in September.
September.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Berlanga won't. That won't happen in
I
September.
think it's happening next. To be honest with you, I think it's happening next.
Mm.
And I think we see Berlanga fight him. Whatever happens in that fight happens, and I think we see him right off into the sunset. That's what I think.
Yeah,
But as far as a guy that when you talk about hit list, like for me,
right.
guy on my hit list, Caleb Plant is number one. I don't do the social media clout shit. I don't do all that shit. If I say I want you, if I say I want it, that's what I truly mean. So I mean, and it ain't like I said, it ain't just like this came out of nowhere. Dude told me he's looking for a tune-up. Now I'm not no
But
tune-up, but at the end of the
I'll,
day, if you're looking for a tune-up, you chasing Berlanga's not gonna fight you. You
right,
chasing Charlo shot, if we're being
right,
honest. So it's like, I mean, shit, you don't got to my knowledge, you don't have nothing lined up. And from what I've heard from people close to the situation, what's up, Pop? He don't have nothing lined up. So it's like it's for me, it's like I said, why not? And
right,
but like I said, Caleb's he may have his eyes set on a certain different way, but and it's no disrespect, but we gotta lock up, man.
right.
This shit been years in the making, and it would be a hell of a fight.
It would
People
be
don't
nice.
know like that shit. Like we had sparring sessions, man, that you damn near you would have had to pay for him to come see him. We
Yeah,
boxed 40. One day we were sparring and Caleb loved talking this shit. I love talking my
yeah,
shit. And we boxed and I told him he started talking this shit. I told him I said, man, cut the bell off. They cut the bell off. We boxed for 45 minutes straight. No water, no bell, no rest, no nothing. And it was up until somebody quit. And no one quit. They had to hop in. They had to hop in the ring and be like, all right, that's enough, y'all. That's it. So it's like one of them. You see two slick,
yeah.
quick,
That's a good.
quick guys. They don't see like we was really getting to it. So but yeah, hopefully we can make that one happen because that's the fight that I want. That's the fight I
And,
want.
and just for the record, Caleb is my guy, man. Me and
Caleb,
Caleb talk.
yeah, Caleb, cool
He's
man. Caleb, cool. His story, you gotta respect it.
oh
Everything he's been through. See, me and him, we known each other for a long, long time. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of history, and like I said, it's nothing personal. This is just the way boxing goes. And that's the way it goes. But he's just one of the guys that's in the way, and I think of what I'm trying to get to. He's been up there. He's had a taste of
the
the
top.
championship. The
Yeah,
championship. I mean, for me, I'm just hitting my prime.
right.
These guys they falling off, and I'm just picking back up, man. So that's the fight I want.
Well, from my mouth to God's ears, from your mouth to God's
Yeah.
ears. Let's hope that somebody tag Caleb and he like, you know what? He talking so much, man. I want to do this, and that fight.
Listen, listen. I'm so cold with this shit, man. I was about to FaceTime Caleb the other day, so I went because I had his number. Till I went to check his phone number, and the shit was green now. So I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, he got a different number. I was
yeah.
about to FaceTime and be like, bro, what's up, man? What we gonna do, man? I know you see it.
Listen,
You
because I
know,
told you that Sean Porter on
yeah,
here, and me and Sean was talking, and Sean was going at it the wrong way to try to get the Terrence
Yeah.
Crawford fight. And I said, look, man, a men of honor won't mind not, breaking bread with you.
Right.
But if you're disrespectful, nobody want to do business
Of
with
course.
somebody
Of
that's
course. Of course.
so.
Of course. You know,
Sometimes the big fight that you really need is just a phone call
that's all
away.
it
Look,
is.
bro, with all due respect, man, this, that, and the third. Look, man, let's do this.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Terrence Crawford and Sean
Yeah.
Porter. That phone call is really what made the thing. Because me and Sean was talking. Sean was like, "Yo, I went at him on social media." I said, "Bro, now if you don't know anything, and Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford ain't out here clout chasing.
Right.
He ain't gonna respond to somebody that's on
No.
social media
Of
unless
course.
you disrespectful.
Of course.
And Caleb is the same kind of integrity guy,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
firecracker.
Yeah,
So
exactly, exactly. We like it's the same for me. Like I ain't gonna do all the goofball shit, man. It's like for me, like I said, you asking about some sparring, and this, bro. Look, we ain't doing none of that shit, bro. Like what I'm
let's
saying, like
do something good.
we might as well go ahead and do something special. You know what I'm saying, and
Right,
go
right.
out there and show people a hell of a display of
Yeah.
boxing. And so I mean, I think it'd be dope, man. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. But whatever God has for me, I'm with that too.
You better
You
be.
know,
we
so.
we on God's good
Yeah,
grace
man.
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But listen,
So
man, I appreciate you, man, and
likewise.
as always, look, my house is your house
Thank you.
anytime. You know what I'm
Thank you,
saying?
man.
And we're gonna link up again, brother. I
Definitely,
appreciate
man.
you.
Definitely,
I know you
man.
gotta go
Thank you.
or whatever.
Yeah, I'm
But
about to hit the boxing gym.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right,
Say
brother.
what's up, man. Say what's up.
Hey, what's up, little man? That's 20.
He's super shy, man.
Yeah, that's 20.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
So
gonna catch up, brother. All
okay, man.
right.
I appreciate
Thank you.
you.
God bless
Thank
you,
you, man.
man.
God bless, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.